Hello guys, Matthew here. I recently posted a video about how to process a board for turning blanks. So in that video, I showed how I go about making plates from boards and how I use the small corners to reuse to get more blanks out of it. So today we're going to turn one of these blanks. In reality, I made a video and I forgot to turn the microphone on. So I already made one, but I will make another one to mimic this one. So we'll get this on the truck and let's get started. Right. So bring the rest up. Gonna go, mask down, start the lathe. So I'll be running at around 1400. So first things first is to clear up this thing. Alright, that's all cleaned up. So this is the set dimensions for the foot. Let's see if we can rough out this corner now. So I don't hit it with my hand. So again, as we usually do, pull in and pull out. So you try to go in at an angle. And that's what allows you to get the foot done. And because we're using a trick that has dovetails, it's kind of safe to foot for the truck. And that's good enough. Don't need a massive foot. Come up here. Pull this up. Before we do anything, we're going to fill up this space. So the way I fill this space is I pin, pin the tool down. Finger goes underneath the rest, and thumb comes over. So to get the left wing, right wing of the tool in contact with the left. There's no light in my shop on this side, so I can't really see, but I can just feel, and I know that that's true. So now I'm going to come up here, and on the other plate I made a little bead. So I'm going to just repeat that. So, just undercut that a little bit. That's quite good. And we'll just round that out on this side as well. There we go. So that's the outside done. I can actually now we have to make a little foot design. So single down. Well, you want it to be convex. I think it's convex. I'm sorry, I have lack of vocabulary. Seal scraper just to smooth everything out. Good. Now, on the foot, let's look on this plate and see. Alright. And just pinch in the corner, come out like that. That kind of gives a little bit of detail. Drop the rest. And just like that, you can actually round up the pen just a tad. I'm feeling something here. Alright, just a piece of torn out grain. So I could actually have to protect the window. Sand scraper. Raise the rest just a little bit. Good. So move that out of the way. Now we're going to sand. So 80 grit. Just to get rid of that nasty torn out grain. Without that ruining our beautiful piece. Alright. Drop the microphone. Get the drill. So we will start with 120 grit. As soon as you get a good cut off the gouge, you don't need to sand as much. I tend to prefer just sanding a lot because that assures you a nice smooth finish. The sand sometimes do annoying and long, but I think it's worth the extra time spent. That's nice and smooth. 240 grit. That's nice. And then last but not least, 320 just for the finish. There we go. Now, because I was brilliant and I put this on a chuck and not the 3 centers, I can use my little cloth and already start oiling it instead of having to reverse chuck it after it's already finished. Which is one of the huge advantages of using screw chucks and face plates for massive pieces of wood, screw chucks, and just using your chuck instead of using your spindle scraper. So that's the oil done. Now we go for the beeswax. So scoop the beeswax. Get into that corner. Put my nail into there. And there we go. That's just beautiful. So now, take it off of this chuck. Take my pipe wrench. Just have to tighten that a little bit. Take the chuck off. And put the chuck that we will be using. So this is a one-way chuck. It's actually a very old chuck. It's a very good chuck. It was given to me with my lathe when I bought it, which I bought secondhand. Both are made from Canadian companies, so that's quite fun to know. So the only difference about this chuck is that it has to have a Tommy key. I think that's what they're called. Tommy bar. It's operated by Tommy bar and not one of these hex screws. So that's the only thing that I less enjoy from those chucks. But again, they work super well. So now that that's done, we're going to be doing the interior. For the interior, we're going to be using a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. So 1/2 inch bar stock, 3/8 flute. First things first is to true the outside up. So we're going to do that. Now I have to keep in mind that I have to have a rim. So why do you need a rim on a plate? There's a lot of reasons this comes to design change, and I might make a video on it in the future, but basically it's to just make a demarcation from the inside of the plate where the food goes and the outside of the plate where the food doesn't go. And that's kind of just to keep the food in. It's not a bowl, but it just keeps the food in. So I don't want a huge rim on this. If I look at this plate, I kind of want to match them up. So that rim is about, damn, my eye is magnificent right there. That's another reason why when you start out wood turning, Richard Raffin says this was one of the greatest turners of all time. The more you eyeball stuff, the better you become at eyeballing stuff. So never measure, always eyeball. So now I'm gonna go from the inside and just get hog out the material. Now, plates are very useful items. They're supposed to be utilitarian. So you have to make sure you're not going too thin, because once a plate gets too thin, it becomes basically unusable because you can poke holes in it with your fork or your knife. So you have to make sure that when you're making a plate, you leave some thickness there. Not too thick, but some thickness. So I'm going to go smooth that out with the scraper. I'm still safe thickness wise. The reason why is that you don't want the plate to be too chunky. If it's too chunky, well, it just doesn't feel right. So just a scraper. Now you see it, that leaves a mark. So that tells me that that's the rim, that's the center of the plate. One thing that I didn't do on the other one, and I'm going to do on this one, is go in with a screw and undercut the rim. So just go and undercut the rim. So that leaves a little mark and kind of makes a very unique difference between the rim and the center of the plate. So I'm just going to check that out. I'll check the thickness again. There's a thing sticking out that was really bugging me. Right, so let's check the thickness. So I'm still quite fine. It's still quite thick. I can actually go down a little bit. I'm going to use the scraper to do that. So let's check that now. That's smooth. It's one continuous curve, which is always an important goal in wood turning. That's not too bad. It doesn't feel too thick, but I still think I'm going to go down a little bit. I will refine this rim. I think that could be just a tad. That could have been a tad better. Into that corner, I'm going to use a round nose scraper. A little tighter curve. Just blend these two curves. There we go. That's looking okay. Stop the rest. There we go. So now we can sand. So as before, start with 80 grit. Just have to find my 80 grit sanding paper. Go with the power drill. Move the rest out of the way. One 80. 240. And finish it off with 320 grit. So let's just see that. That's quite nice. So that is okay for the oil. So I'm not going to put new oil on the rag. It's already pretty soaked. And in comes the beeswax. Burn the stick. And there we go. Beautiful cherry plate. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Plates are always a fun thing to do and to make. I would recommend you try and make a lot of them, and they're very useful. I use a wooden plate every day, and it's just more dynamic than just a classic IKEA standard ceramic plate. So hope you enjoyed the video. Unfortunately, the sound is a little muffled. I'm still getting used to using a mic and my face shield and respirator. It's not the best combination. I still have to figure that out, but bear with me. This is only my third video, so I will get better. So as always, happy turning and see you next time.